Hello, hello, hello. So, you want to know the best part about trade shows? Is when you come back, you have so much extra swag, like shirts, that you don't have to do laundry for like an extra couple days. It's great. It's great. Never pack heavy for these kind of shows, because there's so much swag you pick up that you don't. Why'd you pack 5 shirts? Because you're gonna pick up like 8 more. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Don't forget to like that smash button. Everything's a mess because I haven't been down here. Sorry for the stream being a little late. I haven't been down in this room since I was mad dashing to get the Mando suit ready before heading out. So everything's a mess. So I literally just dumped my bag. I pulled out my lav and my mics and whatnot, hooked them up, and now we're live. You got the rare Fabrico shirt. I did not get a Fabrico shirt from the show. Hector didn't give me a Fabrico shirt. He gave me a place to crash and stash my stuff, but I didn't get a shirt from him. We're gonna see if I'm in your video holding the Piopoly table. Richard, I don't think you are. I have somebody, Prusa Shill. Yeah, I'm wearing the Joe shirt. Apparently, this is I'm not supposed to have this shirt. Apparently, but I have it. Whatever I do, what I want. Can't tell me what to do. And I got gummies that I'm not gonna eat. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? So today's stream, I'll probably pull out the Polymaker or something, just because I have it right here at my foot. After I get this all kind of sorted out, and today's just gonna be a post-ERRF. Print and chill, max relax stream. I nothing planned seriously today. We're just gonna chill and, like, you know what? Actually, why don't we play with this? Here, I'll go dig in the room of forgotten printers for the fire starter, which hopefully the firmware's been updated. I don't know. Maybe the firmware hasn't been updated since the fire starter days. Go get the pip, and we'll put a Revo in it. How about that? We'll put a Revo in a pip. How's that? Okay. So how's everyone doing today? I got a bunch of stuff. Let me turn this camera on, because we got ERRF was fun. Also, ERRF is no more. That was the last ERRF. There are no more ERRFs. It's now 3D Printopia. We'll talk about the name later. We'll talk about naming later, because that was kind of a point of discussion with a few people at the event. But ERRF is no more, which makes sense, because let's be honest, there are too many rep fests. Because you got Remurf, you got Murph, you got ERRF, you got Smurf, you got Lurf, you got Kerf, you got Zerf. Like, there's too many rep fests. And let's be honest, outside of our little community here, nobody knows what the fuck rep is. 3D printer, you say 3D printer, little Timmy knows what a 3D printer is, okay? So when you advertise it, hey, there is a 3D printer convention, people go, I know those things, and they show up. When you advertise it as this is a rep fest, you get people go, what's a rep? Oh, it's a self-replicating machine. Oh, a 3D printer. So I like the fact they changed the name. I think it's a good idea. I would have picked a different name. That's just me. 3D Printopia, VoronCon. VoronCon is pretty much Rocky Mountain. If Rocky Mountain is pretty much VoronCon, there's so many people on the Voron team that will probably be attending that, like that attended it last year, and then we'll be attending it next year. That's the big Voron con is Rocky Mountain, because it's just the traveling to it is pretty easy. So Printopia, yeah, it sounds like a Disney thing. Like, I don't know if it's because of that furry movie, but it sounds like a Disney thing. Also, super awesome shout outs to I got Raspberry Pi 4s, so yay for those that donated those. I've got this, which is the Bichu it's a special one. Engineering sample. It's the Bichu. They call it the Panda? I can't remember what Bichu is calling it. But it's a Revo. It's a Revo. This isn't the final production one. This is an engineering sample. If it blows up the P1P, don't blame them, because this is literally like some guy manually made this. This is an engineering sample one. So if it blows up the printer, that's content. And then Jason hooked me up with some goodies. So for those that don't know, I guess this is public now. Say hello to Leviathan. Is it Leviathan? Do we actually call it that? Yeah, we called it Leviathan. So this is Leviathan. So this is a, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5 TMC 2209s. And this one is 2204s, pre-production sample. So we got 2209s, and then we got 5160s. They are all on the board for proper heat sinking and compact package. And then you're like, what is this area for? What is this area? Well, what you do is you mount your Raspberry Pi to it, like that. A normal Raspberry Pi or a Pi Zero. The whole pattern is the same. So you can use a Pi Zero and then you use a connector cable to connect them. Voila. You can use the CM4 too, but you need an adapter board. So you don't need to get the special form factor CM4s for these. So that's the whole point. You got big chunky fuses. Look at these. Look at these. Look at this big chunky mofo. Is that an SSR? Is that even an SSR? What is that? Morrison. I don't know. Somebody look up what the hell this is. But it's chonky AF. And then look at those caps. Look at those caps. So the way things are going, this may end up going in Tallboy because I haven't received the stuff that Big Tree Tech was going to send me. So we might be putting this in Tallboy, which means I got to figure out the tool head board because I want to put CAN bus. And then also, I got this guy. I don't know what I'm going to put this in. We got to figure out what to put this in. If I can figure it out, maybe the Prusa Mark III. I want to kind of fiddle around with the Prusa Mark III. So I'm assuming, you know, everyone has a Prusa, that there will be a mount for this for the Prusa, and I could drop this in the Prusa, and then we can clipperize the Prusa Mark III. That's what I'm thinking. Because this is pretty cool, because it's got... I don't have the hot end mounted in there. But it's in the box. So the hot end mounts down here. It's like a PTC style one, but it uses V6 nozzles. The fan's integrated. The extruder is integrated. You got a little light down here. Yeah. So I think I want to try and get this on the Prusa because this is kind of cool. Which way does this go? I think it goes like that. Yeah. So I've got stuff for content for a while. We'll put you on the Prusa. There we go. What's in this bag? Oh, these are KB3D. Gave me some the nozzle cams, which I'll be honest, I tried to use one as a streaming camera, but they're too dark. So I was kind of hoping because I'm like, hey, these are really good cameras. Can I use it on my computer? The problem is the way they're set up is they have like really low exposure or something, like they're set up like that hardware wise or something. So you can't really put it on your computer. You come out really like dark, and you can't boost it. I got a ton of stickers I got to put on the wall out in the garage. So we got that, another Raspberry Pi. I've got the V6 adapter for the Mark IV. So the Mark IV will put a V6 adapter in it so we can put, if I can find where I put my Diamondback nozzles, I'll put a Diamondback in the Mark IV so we can print abrasives. These are fans, 5-volt fans, cool. And this is all garbage. Any idea who hooked KB3D up with some Voron rulers? I don't know. You could just, I think PCB Way or one of the companies made these. So they're not exactly hard to get. It's just a PCB design, and any of the PCB companies should be able to make it. Okay, so what are we doing today? Do we want to print on the Polymaker, or do we want to put the Panda in a pip, a bamboo pip? Diamondback versus tungsten. Diamondback would win. I have a video coming out with E3D. So let's talk about ERRF. Let's talk about ERRF, because that is the theme today is the ERRF 2023 recap. So let me pull that up. You had the made at JLC PCB. Okay, there you go. Panda. Okay, we'll do Panda then. So I don't think I leak any information in any of my photos, so we should be okay here. Yeah, let me just go through all my photos. I'm horrible. I did not take as many photos on screen chat as like yeah, that happens. It's because you have to remember there is a delay with YouTube. So I stream at 1440p 60, so I can push a higher bit rate, which means there's an 8-second delay. So when I say snap, you see it on your screen in 8 seconds, okay? And then you type something. I see that instantly, but this overlay has like an also 8-second delay. So it's kind of, yeah. Now what I could do is I can refresh it just to make, why do I got 4 overlays? What the heck? What is going on? Why do I have 4 overlays? Why do I have 4 overlays? Okay, whatever. Yeah, for some reason I have 4 overlays. Let me get rid of these. Delete. There we go. There we go. Okay. I had like 4 overlays stacked. Okay, yeah, more overlays, more better. So yeah, so ERRF, if you don't know what ERRF is, it's the East Coast Rep Rap Festival. There used to be 3, now there's like, or is there are 3 Rep Rap Fests in the US. You got Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest, you have the Midwest Rep Rap Fest, and then you have the East Coast Rep Rap Fest. PF Dennis gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers, appreciate it. Thank you, because I haven't streamed for a week and it showed, like, the numbers show. So Murph was the first, then ERRF, and then Rocky Mountain. So ERRF is now 3D Printtopia. I'm still going to call it ERRF for now, because that's, you know, what it was. But let's get to it. So I do have a bunch of videos. So let me tease you with some of the upcoming content that will be on the channel, if I can find my folder. So just so you know, and just so you're aware, tomorrow's video is on the Magneto X. I know a lot of people are interested in that, so I won't talk about it a lot tonight. What is the best low quarter warp PLA? No idea. I don't have warp on PLA. It's PLA. How are you having warp on PLA? I don't print a lot of PLA. I use Polymaker and Jesse because that's what I have. Okay, so tomorrow's video is on the Magneto X, my interview with Mark. Great guy. Spent a bunch. So it's funny, us recording that interview, it was kind of a mad dash because I tried to get it recorded because I knew he would be like completely busy all weekend. So I roll up nice and early, right? You know, I helped them. I drove this printer to the show. They had an issue with a ride. I drove the printer to the show for them. And then Joel jumps in and gets the first interview. And I'm like, Joel. No, it's all good. He's a busy man. I let him go first. So this is your recording setup, and the recording setup she tells you not to worry about. It's a lot nicer when you actually have a cameraman. So anyways, I recorded my video with Mark like first thing in the morning on Saturday, just as the show was opening. So it was kind of like trying to get it done. So there was some things that I didn't bring up in the video. We didn't talk about closed loop at all. So there's a pinned comment in the video that has like some additional details. And if you have any questions, ask in the comments. I'll try and reply to as many as I can. And if it's important, I'll pull that info into the pinned comment. So anyways, tomorrow's video is live right now if you're a Patreon supporter or a YouTube channel member. So if you want to watch it after the stream, or in a second window. It's up right now, okay? So going forward, there'll be a video every Saturday with ERRF stuff in different various forms. Hopefully Friday, it'll be up early for supporters of the channel. I don't like gatekeeping content, but I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your guys' continued support. So I do like to reward you in some way, at least. So that's that. So if you want to watch it, consider becoming a channel member. Or hey, you might luck out and somebody might gift you one. And remember, the more active you are in chat, the more likely your chance of getting that random gifted membership. apparently. Apparently you can't be a lurker. You have a better chance if you chat. I don't know what the criteria is, but there you go. Tank Garden gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. Okay, so anyways, let's go through ERRF. So teaser, here is the docket. I got a video with E3D. I got a video with Gil. Gil's the awesome robot. I did a video with HughForge. My name is Jeff. LDO. Mando stuff. I did a whole floor walk video with video and Piopoly. So obviously Piopoly's tomorrow. Star Rose 3 gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. So Piopoly videos tomorrow. Next Friday I might do HughForge. I'm thinking this one I'm gonna say the Mando I'm gonna save till like Halloween. So yeah. So that's kind of the docket. So this was the setup day. So it wasn't open to the public on Friday. It was a setup day. I literally drove, I woke up at 6 a.m. I got on the road and I drove 9 hours straight across the great state of Pennsylvania. I paid for the toll road because, you know, as much as my Subaru can do the bouncy bouncies, I try to avoid that. The photo dump, what photo dump? Was there a photo dump from ERRF? If there was, can you link it in the Discord? If there was a big photo dump, because I'm horrible at taking photos. So this was what's it? Metalhead printing. He has the Dave did one. Okay, who broke the like button? I don't know. Make sure smash the like button. The Arthas cosplay, and I wore the helmet, and it actually is really cool. Chad being a Chad and gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers. This is Gil. Audio is going to be low because it's just desktop audio. Let me turn the music on. Let me actually turn the music on. This is Gil. Gil is awesome. I actually did an interview with Gil and his pilot, David, at the show. So that will be its own video, okay? Because I did a whole interview with Gil. And this robot is... I love this robot. I love this robot. He is awesome. Or it's awesome. I don't know if it's gender. But this robot is awesome. So I did a whole video with Gil. Gary gifted a community membership. Cheers. Here is the Magneto. Again, I'm not going to talk about this much today because there's a video on it that will be out tomorrow. It's doing its quad gantry thingy there. And then it does like 48-point bed leveling for bed mesh. So this machine will boogie. They have it running. They can move at 800. Their current print profile maxed out at like 700 millimeters a second with travels. The hot end can do 60 millimeters cubed a second. The problem is these tables, let me find you. Okay. The trade show tables, so many people are like, oh, it's shaking the table, it's a waste. Like, I've seen so many people salty that the table legs move, okay? Where is the picture? Okay, I don't know about you, but this is jank AF, and pretty much a Prusa Mini will make this table shake, okay? These were the tables all the printers were on. So yes, and this is a single man lift. You can lift this printer by yourself. It's got some weight to it, but you can lift this by itself. So that's my mouse. Yes, this printer moving does shake the table. Also, we didn't realize till after everyone recorded everything that the legs weren't even locked on the table. So after they locked the legs, the table didn't wobble as much. So yeah, and these tables were beat to shit. These tables were not in great condition. So yeah, so for anyone who wants to be chirpy, that, ooh, the table moved. Yeah, of course it did. What do you expect? Yeah, Prusa Mini will move it. Also, I've seen a lot of people like, oh, it's got the fan in. These aren't final. Nothing on this machine is final. It's an engineering unit. And unfortunately, it got dinged in transport. They shipped it like UPS or whatever, and because it's not a final unit, they don't have all like the packing and whatnot like a production machine would have. They basically just bubble wrap the hell out of it and zip tied it up, and it took a little bang. So it functionally moves, but it wasn't, there was something with the extruder or the hot end was just, they didn't want to print with it. It wasn't, something got bumped. So they weren't printing with it, which was actually cool because that means they could run it without the fans, so you could see how quiet it is. This was a large format machine. I can't remember the name of the company. It's on the door. It's all ball screws on steppers. They built this machine in like 2 weeks, apparently. This company builds large format custom machines. Like, they don't sell an off-the-shelf machine. They like make custom machines. So if you call them up and like, hey, I need a machine that with this build volume, they make it for you. So they like put this together in like 2 weeks or something. Yeah. So there's filming. So there's Joel doing his thing. More video of this. Do not put your electronics. So these were magnets. These are like rare earth magnets. So they had that there to put, so people wouldn't put like their phones, because you know, people, you got your phone and you're like trying to record. RFID, those magnets will kind of do a number on them. So don't put magnets near the magnets, or don't put stuff near the magnets. This is some B-roll. A lot of my B-roll is just my phone. I use my phone for a lot of the B-roll. So this was a bunch of stuff from HueForge, which I finally have, I think. I downloaded. Oh, there. If you're wondering what the Wi-Fi password was, there you go. Me in the This is the only selfie I took in the Mando suit. This is Steve and Mandic really building their Trident. Never, ever, ever build a printer at a trade show. Okay? I think it's Alan, right? Is like, yeah, never again, never again. It's a cluster truck. Yeah. Aaron, that's my Trident now. Why though? Because it's a ton of work, and the worst part is you're stuck at the booth. He was stuck at that booth building that printer both days of the show pretty much. So you're pretty much there the whole time. Like, I offered to help him. Thankfully, Steve was helping him, because I'm like, I'll help if you need it. But I'm like, I'm running around trying to record stuff, you know, interact with people and whatnot, and it's like, wear the Mando suit, and it's just like, yeah, he said never again. Yeah, I'm like, I was exhausted after that show. Imagine building a printer and trying to do that. Uncle Jesse, which isn't his real name, just in case you're wondering. Pooch. Ellie photobombed it, and Andrew photobombed it. And I don't know who this is. I think that's from what's her name from Cookie Cat? I don't know for sure. This was the after party. I walked in the next day. This was a Joelbot printed on the Cocoa Press. I was very tempted to take a bite out of it and leave it on the printer, because this was like Sunday morning, like right in the morning. So I was very tempted to take a bite out of it and put it back on the printer, but I figured that would have been rude. Positron. I talked to Jason about Positron. This is hopefully what the final revision would look like. They dropped the synchro mesh, and they've had to change quite a few things on it to get it production ready. I just heard a buzz. More B-roll. There's the Leviathan. Love that name. Orbiter V3. More HueForge stuff. More HueForge stuff. This is Fotis Mint spoof, I believe. Joe Prusa photobomb my. Oh yeah, Joe was everywhere. Yeah, Positron will be for sale. Them wiring up the printer on day 2. Fabrico's little. This is all printed apparently with just a bunch of LEDs, which is really cool. Jeff. Jeff is a bitch. Fuck Jeff. Okay. Me, Olivia, and Sibby from E3D. Well, technically Olivia's not from E3D. She's just an E3D groupie. But Sibby is. We threw down with Jeff. I'll show you the video. Yeah, we threw. Oh. A wild Chep appears. There's Chep. So this is overlooking. So the way they had it set up, I really like the layout they had this year, because they had like an island in the middle. So last year they just had rows, right? So what ended up happening is people would just file in and they would just snake up and down the aisles, and it caused traffic jams. So this year you had a row in the front, you had a row in the back here, but then this like middle area kind of went this way, the other way. So everyone kind of wandered around. There wasn't no like set path. So everyone wandered. So everything was a bit more spread out. So that was, I really like the layout they did this year. that was me recording something accidentally. This is Gil again. Do yourself and Hugh Forge a favor and don't make your first interaction with Clothing live on stream. I've heard that. I've heard that. Saturday morning was packed. Yeah, Saturday morning was really busy. Yeah, Saturday morning was really busy. Bruce is solid taking over. Well, to be fair, this is Prusa, this is Printed Solid. This table was filled with filament on Saturday morning. They had like 5 deep, 3 boxes high of filament all on this table, and they sold it all. And then they brought more, not as much, but they brought like a third as much Sunday, and they sold it all. So yeah. Oh, this is cool. They have that, I believe you can buy this separate. This is its own thing. It's a G-code preview hologram thing. The Magneto has that. There's me and Joe. There's me and Grant. And those are like the only selfies I took. I took like no selfies at the show. I'm horrible with selfies. This is Jeff. They had it hooked up to tug of war, so you could do tug of war against him. And yeah, oop, that was me saying goodnight to the little guy. And this is me vibing on the way home. So yeah, so that is all the pictures I took because I'm horrible at taking pictures. You large icons. What are these videos of? Do you see Chris Blake's giant trident at the Polymaker booth? I think I did. I probably did. Sean, I bought so much, I got 3. I didn't get any elixir from David. I should have got some spools from you, David. I completely forgot. I raided Polymaker though, because I needed some more purple for an upcoming build. So I totally raided Polymaker for some filament. Positron will be kit. Yes, as far as I'm aware, Positron will be available in assembled and assembly required versions. So let's see here. So where is Jeff? This is Jeff. Okay. So yeah. So this is bad camera angles for one. But this is me and Olivia, the E3D groupie, fighting Jeff. So there's a strain gauge. Me and her maxed it at 230. I guess the average for a 3-person team was 300, and considering just me and her did 230 was pretty good. And then we got Sibby and we did like 415. Yeah, this footage is brought to you by horrible camera angles. So it moves too. So it pulls you around. And then at the end, it just throws you. Yeah. Where's the one with Sibby? Yeah. So this is right after we had just done it. So me and Olivia were already pretty tired at this point. So we went and got Sibby, who, for those who don't know Sibby, Sibby's an anchor. Sibby got this shit. You didn't use helmets. Yeah, good point. We want to be camera ready. Don't tell the insurance company. There is nobody out there. We just walked out there and like, hey, can we fight Jeff? And he's like, okay. But yeah, we didn't have helmets on. Oh well. Yeah, that's Sibby from E3D. He's their, I think, social media guy. You can see it just dragging us. I will say the 3D printed shoes, the Adidas 3D printed shoes, got amazing grip for this. I was worried I was going to destroy them. Yeah, this is tiring as heck. Seriously, you get bagged doing that. And then I don't think I have anything else I can show you that won't be like the focus of a video. So I don't want to like show anything that would be. So apparently there was a photo album dumped. Dave. Oh, here we go. Okay, tons of photos. Okay, so we'll just go through these. I don't know any of these photos. Hopefully they're all YouTube safe. I'm assuming so. Right, let me do this. Wait 1 second. Oh, I'm leaking our Discord. Okay. There we go. Okay. Don't leak the Discord. There we go. Okay. This. Did I get any? I looked at it, Delmar, but I wasn't going to do a video on it, so I didn't really record anything. I will say, hello, if anyone from Carvera is watching, hi, my name's Taylor. I'm very interested in your machine. I like it. Yeah. We need a 3D Canadian 3. I would love if there was a Canadian 3D printing. Here's the thing. Somebody needs to set it up. I don't want to. So, Rose, it's up to you. This bot here. Who could tell me why I don't like this bot? Nothing against the robot, nothing against the driver, but what is the issue with this bot? And for those that were at the show who happen to be content creators, you know what I'm talking about with this robot. This is DMCA bot. This bot plays music. This bot plays copyright, music that gets your videos DMCA'd. This bot drove around all weekend blaring DMCA music. Yeah, so you saw me on the live stream, avoid it like the plague. Many times, yeah, and it was loud. It was really loud. Also, like, watching, like, content creators trying to record videos, and then this would start playing, like, Freebird or something not even, like, if it was playing Star Wars music, it would make sense, but it would just play, like, the kind of stuff a guy of this age listens to. It would be like everyone would just stop for a second and be like, ugh. So, yeah, this is DMCA bot. If nothing against your bot if it plays music, okay, just be aware at a public event like this, there's probably people that are trying to, especially with cameras, trying to stream and make movies. Play Star Wars music at least, or something that can be, open. Literally broke. Yeah, it was really loud too. It was really loud. So this is these guys had. I didn't talk to these guys, but I just kind of walked by and looked at their stuff. They had some like props or like set replicas from Star Wars. So there's obviously the Millennium Falcon. Saval had a booth there. Do you know what's funny? Bamboo didn't have a booth there. So this one's cool. This R2 parks on that, and that's how it gets moved around. So these guys were cool though. As much as I'm chirping on DMCA bot, these guys were really cool to have out. So these are an astromech group that, they build droids, and apparently it's a whole thing with these guys. Okay. You build the droids, and it's kind of funny. Any other company, the lawyers would be having a field day. Think about it. If people pretend like dressed up in Iron Man suits and like went as like used Marvel branding and whatnot, it would be shut down. If people did like Elsa and Anna with like Disney logos and whatnot, it would be shut down. But the Star Wars is allowed to get away with it, like the whole 501st thing. So apparently, like when George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, it was part of the rights or part of like the deal that Disney could not go after these people, like the fan groups, the Mandalorians, the 501st, the astromech guys. They're not allowed to go after them. They're allowed to keep doing this stuff, use Star Wars music, use Star Wars, as long as it's like non-profit apparently. So there's a whole thing with these folks where they build these droids and they're like on call. So they could get called up for like, oh, hey, we need prop droids for something we're filming. And these guys get called up for it if they're good enough. So it's kind of like a thing with them where they build these for fun and they all kind of hope to get called up, which apparently a bunch of, David, piloted a bunch of droids for the Mandalorian, so that was cool. Tony and E3D. Tony's a good guy. If you ever go to any of these events, take your time to talk to Tony. Good guy. Yeah, Lucasfilm has always been... Yeah, Lucasfilm's always... And when they sold it to Disney, I think they said, hey, don't fuck with these guys. They will buy your stuff to the end of time. Be nice to them. So there's the E3D booth, or sorry, Duet. There's the E3D booth. Panda Revo, which I got, which after we go through these pictures, we'll put one in the pip. Chris's basement. He didn't have the claw game, but he brought his 3D printed guitars. Edge of Tech. There's Sir Will with the only A1 at the show that was crashing at Jim's booth. Death Racers. Tripod's Garage. PCB-Way. Good old PCB-Way. If you're any sort of tech content creator, the moment you have 3 subs, they'll hit you up for a sponsorship. Good old PCB-Way. Green Gate. They do the whole recycled filament spool thing, I believe, if that's them. Oh, that's cool. Claire and Mike from E3D, and then the Diamondback folks, which I can never remember their name, but they're great folks too. So this is them talking about Revo Diamondback. It is a thing. We talk about it in the video that will be out in like probably 2 weeks from now. I'm gonna put a video out every week. I'm gonna milk this content because you know I have video footage for content because you know how often I do videos on my channel. So I tried to sit down and watch a bunch of these. The problem is they were all like back to back to back, and they were like half hour each. So it's like I caught some of it, but not all of it. I believe the 501st got to be extra. Yeah, and the last season episode, or last episode of the first season of The Mandalorian, they called up a bunch of 501st because they needed more stormtroopers. They didn't have enough people, so they just called up the 501st because they got screen accurate costumes. So it's like, hey, we need stormtroopers. I can't remember what this guy's booth or company is, but this guy had some good shit. I did a short with him during the walk around. Sparta 3D, first time talking to these guys. They made their way out. So, this was cool. This is the tool head doesn't move on this printer. It's the bed that moves in the XYZ. Midnight Props. Okay, that's who it was. But yeah, the print, they didn't have it printing because they didn't have the printer doesn't have a screen, so they had no way to set up the Wi-Fi to get it moving. But yeah, this thing, the bed moves in the XYZ. The tool head doesn't move. 3D Hubs. I never talked to these guys. I kept meaning to, but every time I walked by, like ready to talk to them, they were talking to people. But they do scanners. I think they're more a company that just sells stuff than actually makes anything. Capricorn, if you're into tubing. They refuse to give a serial. It is pretty modified at that point. It is pretty modified. Whatchamacallit, Lightburn. Where they were engraving chocolate, I think. Which, I need to get a laser. I talk to the Lightburn folks every time I go to these shows. They're awesome. If you do anything with lasers, buy Lightburn software. It's great shit. I need to get a laser just as an excuse to buy their software. Because apparently it's really good, and the licensing is like really, like, good. Are they CNC chocolate? Yeah. Tons of people that just had props. IC3D, one of the droids. The Death Racers, which I didn't participate in at all. I watched like one of the races for a little bit, and that was it. So all the Death Racers. I'm gonna try and do Death Racers at Murph, because apparently Death Racers at Murph this year, they're gonna have like an actual, like, I won't say stadium, but they're gonna have like an actual proper thing set up for them, and they'll be like their own thing. So I'll probably do that. And I don't think any of them caught fire this time. So that was good to see. Lightburn is amazing and super cheap. Yeah, yeah, there's Zombie Hedgehog. Yeah, the licensing is very, very like reasonable and not like scummy like, you know, Adobe. Oh, there's Gil again. I don't think they had the droids out there fighting. I think they just had the death racers. Just a bunch of prints. Another one of Gil, and there's David. This robot is crazy emotive. Like, I talk about it in the video, so I'm not going to go into it much, but basically something like moving the head, there's like a bunch of other functions that are like tied to it. So it kind of like, instead of just doing like, it does like kind of like a, and there's like little ramp ups and ramp downs and speed ups and speed downs, and like it carries momentum when it moves, and it's all just like just programming. It's crazy how much emotion they get out of those robots with like a few controls, because it's all like tied together. Auto drop, Maker Cloud, which I don't think I talked to them. This guy was cool. They were doing the 3D printed prosthetics, and then I wish you know what the worst part is? I'll go up to somebody and start talking to them, and I'll talk for like 10-15 minutes about something, and then I'm like, shit, I should have been recording this whole thing. It's too late to go back and like start over. The guy who does the, he's missing his fingers on his like left hand or right hand, I can't remember. He's missing the fingers, and he has that geared hand, like when he moves the hand and it does the gear, and there might be a photo in here. I'll point it out. I talked to him for like 10-15 minutes, and I'm like, I should have fucking recorded this, because it was great. Like, we went into like how he makes it, and like, you know, he has a 3D printed version of it now, and you know how he helps others with it. And I'm like, I didn't record any of that, and I'm not gonna like pretend to do it again. So I'm like, oh well, next time. Enclosures. So these are cool. These are deltas that fold up. Like it literally collapses, so you can like mount it on the wall. Which, Mitch, you need to do this for your delta for these shows, so that way you don't like, it packs easier. You need a cameraman that's just recording. The thing is, I'm by myself. Like that's the thing. My setup is literally, and we'll talk about this. This is my setup. This plus the DJI Lav hooked up to it. Like, I'm wearing the Lav right now. So I just have the receiver connected, plugged in. This is my setup. So when it's just me, it's great, but I got to remember to record. And then also mic up the person that I'm talking to, because you really need like a mic in these environments. Voron booth next year. I don't know if there'll be a Voron booth next year. I'm not in charge of that. There wasn't a Voron booth this year. Only me and Steve from the main Voron team made it out this year. Is that a submarine? I think that's a submarine. CNC parts. Vertical TX. Euclid probe. Princeps. Oh, dang it! I talked to these people at the very beginning of the show, and I meant to go back to talk to them, and I completely forgot. It's an open source resin printer. I completely forgot to go back to them. Shit. Maybe next year. Claire, doing Claire things. Drag racers. All the drag racers. The problem is somebody lost a tire. Problem is, these look better in motion, so pictures of them are kind of like, eh. Things change. Oh, yeah, belt printers. What is that? Oh, I think, is that, I can't remember what that is. There's Grant. I can't remember the name of Grant's significant other. I'm sorry, Grant. Little kid. I think this is Jim's kid. I'm pretty sure this is Jim's kid. That's why he's in all the photos. Princeps, so they did the belt stuff. So this is a flying gantry that converts into a belt printer, I think. Recreator. So that's all, what's his name? Stefan did a video on this recently. GRT 3D. Oh, that's cool. They got little laser. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even see this. Oh, this was over at that corner. Okay. Alien 3D. I spent some time talking to this guy. He's gonna send me a in the future, send me one of the Alien. So I don't do any subscription stuff. Like I would love to have the Jesse subscription, the Alien 3D subscription, but I can't do it because I live in Canada and the shipping just makes it pointless, right? It costs way too much. So they do a monthly like STEM project. So you get the electronics and then you print out the parts you need and you do the project. So one of them is literally, remember the old DIY Stream Deck controller I did? One of them is that kind of thing. So they do little light up projects, USB microphones, like kind of little electronics projects monthly. So he was talking to me, he wants to send me a kit. So that'll probably be a nice little Friday stream I don't know when, but in the future-ish. So that'll be cool. Josh is awesome. Yeah, I've talked to him at every one of these shows, and it's a good guy. So we got this. This looks like a salad fork, a belted salad fork in the works. Or no, the bed's removable. So. I think this is just, yeah, this is just extrusion, colored extrusions, maybe? Overture filament. This guy. So, if you ever want to flex, so somebody shows up in their custom Iron Man suit. Okay, if you ever want to flex on somebody in an Iron Man suit, what you do is you tell them to stand still. Okay, so you tell them to stand still. You tell them to put their arms out straight, and then you ask them to do this. Because they cannot. They have no, if anyone goes to ever see somebody wearing a printed Iron Man suit, you have no mobility in these things at all. Like I thought it was bad in my Mando suit, which I've learned a few things and what I'm gonna change on it for the next time I wear it. But these Iron Man suits, oh my God, these guys are masochists because you have no mobility in these. Like you can't sit. I can sit in my Mando suit. I can't because I'll break stuff by sitting on it. So I haven't actually tried, but I can actually sit in my Mando suit. I can go upstairs in my Mando suit. They look cool though. They do look cool. They gotta work on the joints. Like these joints, you gotta figure out something with the joints, but that's just the way it is with those suits. The Mammoth. So Ellie brought out the Mammoth. Unfortunately, they didn't get it working. There were supposed to be people from the Mammoth team there, and I don't think they showed up. So, Creality had like a whole team of people recording stuff, and I didn't talk to any of them. They just kind of did their thing. I was on the Creality live stream though. Apparently, they talked to me on the Creality live stream while I was wearing the Mando suit. And then they wanted me to talk for too long, and I'm like, this is really hot. I can't just stand still. Oh yeah, he got screwed. They told him he won, and then it turns out he didn't win. So he had to give the printer back. Yeah, so he took the picture with the printer that he won, and then he had to give it to somebody else. And then he didn't get anything or something. He got screwed. This guy's missing a leg. There's Jeff. Yeah, they're like, the guy who won was like not eligible, but then he was eligible, so they took the printer from him. Yeah. There's Pooch doing their stream. Just so you know, Pooch is now working for Prusa as his social media. I call him the Joe Wrangler. There's Joel doing Joel things. If you ever get a chance at any of these shows, watch Joel when he starts recording the whatever event in 60 seconds. It is a mess watching people scramble. You can see me if you go watch his today, the one they put out with the Wham Bam. I'm in the background of it, just like giggling, because watching people scramble in those 60 seconds, because you only get one take. It's always fun watching people scramble on those videos. So yeah. Okay, so that's Britt's costume. Okay, so I talked to Britt there, which we actually met at Murph last year, but we didn't really talk. But she wanted to know a bunch of stuff about how I did the texturing on my Mando suit. So we we bonded over cosplay for a bit. So that's what she was doing with her arm. Okay, so apparently this is a character from the Star Wars. Ah, shoot. What are those shorts? Not shorts, but they're like Legends. I think Legends, Star Wars Legends. This is a character from that. Grant doing his thing. I'm jealous of everyone and their cameraman because I don't have camera. Man, Visions, Star Wars Visions. That's what it was. Also, this is what, okay, they can stream from the app horizontal, but when I try to stream from the app horizontal, it doesn't let me. So I gotta talk to them and figure out what they were doing. Oh, iPhone. This might be an iPhone thing. 3D gloop, which is always good. Mando really doing his thing. Never again. Never again. There is a 2020 Rook. Pia Poly, which, by the way, it is, technically you could say both. Mark really doesn't care, but it is Pio Poly. So it's not Pio Poly, it's Pio Poly. So people polymer, Pio Poly. So if you're wondering how to pronounce it, see, that's why they got the Pio Poly. So repeat after me. I want you to all type this out. Repeat after me. Pio Poly. Poly. Pio Poly. Uncle Jesse looking at the printer. Tomato. There's Mark. Good guy. There's Gil again. I don't think they got any pictures of me wearing the suit. Because I wore the suit on both days. This was the Prusa giveaway. So I wore the suit on both days for about an hour each. This was that big printer that we were talking about earlier. You want to talk about a beefy X-rail. This was like the only print at the Printed Solid booth. Ellie with her printer. The whole Cocoa Press team is awesome. Joel doing Joel things. Prusa SL1. Mark IV, or XL. This thing, like, watching this thing do tool changes is just mesmerizing. Like, it's amazing how quick it is, how efficient it is. Like, yeah, I know it's pricey and it takes a while to get, but if you're serious about actual, like, large format, multicolor, or straight up multi-material, because I don't think something like an AMS or any single nozzle setup is great for multi-material. It's good for multicolor, but not multi-material. This thing is, once you start looking this as if it is just only a 5 tool changer printer, it makes way more sense. Buying the single tool head version of the XL is, in my opinion, not that great. I don't think it really, like, obviously people are buying it, but this machine really shines at the 5-headed version. Yeah. LDO motors. All the LDO stuff. Protopasta. Diamondback. These guys are always good to talk to. TLDR, for those wondering about the whole Revo Diamondback. Well, if Obsidian's already a thing, why would you get a Diamondback? Obsidian has a coating on it. Diamondback is diamond. So yes, it's going to be, but if you're printing, it's really for those that print like ceramics and like steel fill or metal fill. That's where it shines. MacBoy gifted 20 community memberships. Cheers. You could buy the single head and then okay, but in that case, you're still aiming for the 5-headed tool version. So that kind of, my argument is for like the actual standalone single-headed version of the machine doesn't make sense. But either you're saving up for the 5-headed or you go straight to the 5-headed, then it makes sense. But like if you plan on just getting it as a single tool head printer, there are much cheaper ways to get large format printers in that site. Because what, 350 cubed? I mean, the Reality makes a million of those machines. And you can buy 10 of them for the price of an XL. More QForge stuff. This is really cool. This is basically like a little kit. So for like the D&D or the tabletop. So I think you got to pay for this model. Link in the QR code there. I'll move the mouse. But it's like you can like build up your little sets and stuff easily. So this is really cool. After playing a ton of Baldur's Gate, I really want to get into D&D. So, Gridfinity RPG table, pretty much. Okay, these are really cool. I talked about this in the video, so I'm just going to touch on it. These are little boxes that you put your filament into, and it gives you the actual hex code for the color and its transmission distance. So this, you put your filament in, and it gives you the hex code and the transmission distance of the actual filament, so you don't have to rely on manufacturer numbers, which are never accurate. And then you plug that into QForge, and it's much more accurate. Stream D&D sessions on Twitch. I mean, I'm already playing Baldur's Gate on Twitch, so hey, subscribe to or follow the Twitch channel, Twitch/Nero3D, or yeah, Nero3D on Twitch. I don't know. That's where I am. More QForge stuff. This is the newest version of QForge. Can do stuff like this with 4 colors. It's nuts. This is Legally Not Warhammer, the game. Tabletop Simulator is good for that. I'm gonna do a D&D on Discord, invite me. Maybe I gotta, so there will be a Twitch stream on Saturday, probably 10:30ish to like 1:30ish, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I've got to stream more because on Twitch I'm affiliate, except for I need stream days. So I need to stream every day for the next like 3 days. So when Monday rolls around, I can monetize apparently. So there will be a random Twitch stream today and Sunday that will be testing stuff. I might just hang on in Discord for a bit, we'll see. And then Saturday we'll do one more Twitch stream, because going forward the Twitch streams are just gonna be like Mondays and Wednesdays officially. So if you're on the Discord, if you have no interest in the Twitch games, gaming streams, make sure you mute the channel for the notifications for it. Stream for an hour. I will. Well, I can't, because after the stream's done here, I got to go get the little guy from school. These are really cool. I should have made a short of it, but basically these are all the different colors of the Polymaker filaments and all the different types of filament, and they have a QR code. So they had a little QR code reader. So if you look at the color and you go, wow, this is a nice filament, I want to buy it. You put it on the an RFID reader, and it tells you all the information about the filament. There's a baby. Look at that baby. So apparently this suit is wearable, or will be wearable in the final iteration. RFID or NFC. Yeah, sorry, it's not QR code. It's potato. More death racers. All the death racers. They look better in motion. This was the Creality booth. Yeah. Baby! So yeah, apparently this suit is wearable. It weighs like 50 pounds or 50 kilograms. It's heavy as shit. But it is apparently wearable, and you actually get in it at like you do the suit in the game, where like the back opens up and you like step into it. So if I hit the right thing, maybe a future project. We'll see. We'll see. Favorite rep so far this year? I'm gonna say Rocky Mountain. ERRF was pretty good. Here's the thing. ERRF is a good social thing. If you know the people in the industry and you're within a day's drive, ERRF is great to go to. But it's very much, it's not as professional. If you know people going, go and have a good time, because it's ERRF. And ERRF is always a good time. But it's kind of like for those that like are gonna attend as I'm just gonna show up and see what's there. Rocky Mountain, ERRF are probably better bets. I know MRF is a little bit nicer to those that want to show up and show off their own things, because you can just show up. These ones you have to book in advance and whatnot. Yeah, MRF is a family. Yeah, that's pretty much. MRF is the oldest one too. but it's also in like Goshen, Indiana, right? It's in Amish country. So I think the big one going forward will be Rocky Mountain, because Rocky Mountain is in Colorado. It's like an hour out of Denver. So you land at Denver Airport. It's like an hour drive in a rental or Uber. And it's cheap to get to because the Denver Airport is a hub for a lot of like Delta and like Spirit and whatnot. So it's cheap to get to for people that... Here's my opinion. My official stance on Rep Fest and Maker Fairs. If you're within driving distance, go. Go, spend the day, have fun, okay? Drive out the Saturday, spend the day there, book a hotel, have fun that night, and then drive home the next day, right? That's what I would do if I wasn't in the industry, okay? If it's within a day. If you have to travel, probably Rocky Mountain's your best bet. That's my opinion. Yeah. Now, if you're in Europe, there's also Smurf. I'm kind of excluding Smurf from this, the Sanjay Mornover Rep Fest, because one, as of now, I don't know if it's going to be an annual thing, and two, it's in England, which is on the other side of the ocean. So you're spending buku bucks to go there, if you're not already on the continent, basically. These are really cool. Creality thing. They brought their desk burner, but I don't think they had it plugged in. Thanks. This guy's a good. If you ever get a chance, like you know, drama aside with the 3D printing file sharing sites, if you ever get a chance to talk to the people from Thangs, do it. They're good folks. Competition is always healthy for the industry. This guy was pretty cool. He had a bunch of props and whatnot. I'm horrible with names, by the way. I need to like say your name like 50 times before I remember it. So I'm absolutely horrendous with names and faces. I don't think I have that thing where I can't remember faces, but I'm horrible with names and faces. Liz Thangs is super receptive. They are. They were actually the first company to ever sponsor my stream. That was back in the early days of Thangs. Denise, she does all the 3D printing reviews for Tom's Hardware. Denise does them. What do we got here? Metalhead Printing with his BFG and his Arthas Cosplay. Cosplay, because it's costume. Cosplay. Filament Stories, always good to see, always good to talk to. Cookie Cad, there's Brett, Clock Spring. Oh yeah, the little upstairs, they have these little amp weight battle bots. Which kind of sucked because it was upstairs, because it was like a completely different area. I only went upstairs like twice. This community college thing. So this is upstairs stuff. So these were more like people just showing off their stuff, not actual company. So they had what are these called? Like the Boy Scout gravity thingies. Those, yes, those. Oh, this is Rain Motorsports pimped out Ultimaker. Lego. Pinewood Derby, that's what it is. So 3D printed Derby cars. I don't know, how many photos are there in here? Does it say? No. Toy box. This was pretty cool. They had a bunch of like really little printers with clipper on them. So these were pretty cool. Little CNC machine. They had a full Droidica there that was printed. I don't know why they didn't get a picture of the whole thing. Borny was there, I guess, with the Deltesian. Screw sorter. If this is a screw sorter, I need to get this. I need to get this. If this is a screw sorter, I need to get it. Although I think it might just be like an alignment thing for screws. Printers for ants. I don't think he wore that suit. That's what, Carmen Rider? Is it Carmen Rider? I think. I don't think they wore these suits at all. I think they just... Oh, there I am! I gotta save this picture. Save to... near 3D, import, modified, ERRF, Mando. There we go. I was wondering if I would show up. I'm like, hopefully I'm in one of these photos. That came out good. This, you could tell, this was right at the end of Sunday, because the stupid clip that holds the crotch protector kind of fell off. So ignore the hanging cod piece. Yeah, it was right at the end of the day. Yep, there's me talking with Joel. I was warm. So I had to wear this stupid neck gaiter to keep my beard from popping out. So that was a good photo. The armor can't contain my excitement. So excited. More Nerf guns. This was at Fabrico booth. Apollo is like Johnny Appleseed with Nerf guns, apparently. There's David with the Cocoa Press people. Win this printer. You know, he didn't get to win it. Oh wait, no, that's LDO. Naval. So this is the 3D printed stuff. Balaclava, but it would still be hot. It would be. That neck gaiter is specifically like a warm weather neck gaiter. It's very, very thin. There's Mitch. He brought a different, I think this is the ERRF. It's not his usual backpack printer. Oh, there's the giveaway for the Trident. Oh, there's Chep. Grant, 3D Printopia. More Grant. I don't think I did a video with Ellie. Yeah, I didn't do a video with Ellie because I've already done a ton of videos with Ellie about the machine. I think I did one at Rocky Mountain. And I'm going to be building one as soon as it shows up. Like, I've got my pre-order in it. I should be getting it in October. So we also need to figure out what color to do the printer in, because it's a chocolate printer. And I'm going to be printing in an ABS. So I need to figure out what color we're going to print this printer in. There's Claire from E3D and Joe. Creality pointing at the suit. This guy showed up at like the very end of the show in an ODST armor. So he barely wore the helmet, I will say. He walked around without that helmet a lot. Like, you gotta wear the whole suit. Hey, it's Liz and Joel. That's a good picture. That is a good picture. Joe and Chris. So this is the guy who puts on ERRF for now 3D Printopia. So this is the guy who runs the show for ERRF. Shane, which this guy doesn't like me because I got him into Armored Core 6 and Baldur's Gate 3. So also I think I got Joe into Baldur's Gate 3. So if your pre-order is late, these guys are busy playing video games. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, good show. If you ever get the chance to go to these shows, everyone is very approachable. Like, I'll be honest though, if you want to talk to because I had some people mention like they wanted to talk to me and I ignored them. It is a disaster, these shows. There's so much noise. My hearing is shot. I'm like partially deaf in my left ear already. So my hearing is shot. It's very loud and I'm constantly looking around and people are always looking around. So if you like make eye contact with me, I have no idea if you're looking at me, if you're looking at somebody behind me, if you're looking at something like it's just kind of, you literally need to come up and go, hi, hello. Like you got to do that if you want to actually interact. But pretty much every content creator is all open to talking, and unless if they're already in a conversation with somebody, or if they're like eating or like hiding in a back room, leave them alone. Don't walk up to like, you know, people eating and say hi and then sit there and talk. I'm not gonna say who you are, but don't do that, please, please. Did I do something about the new? Oh yeah, so going back to the name, it is no longer East Coast Rep Rap Fest, it is now 3D Printopia. I agree and disagree with that. I agree because Rep Rap is something that really only people in this community know what that means. It is not that inclusive, in my opinion. It's too inclusive, because nobody knows what it is outside of those already involved in 3D printing. So you get people that know what it is coming out, but that's it. If you're trying to grow, you know, interaction with the community to a larger extent, you want to use a name that more people know. More people know what 3D printing is. So it's not a rep rat fest, it's a 3D printing convention. And more people will, you know, who aren't involved with it will see that as like a flyer, go, oh, there's a 3D printing convention this week, I'm gonna go to it. Versus, oh, this is a rep rat fest. The fuck is a rep rap? So as for the name, I think it could have been workshopped a little bit. It sounds a little Disney for my liking, but it's their show. Name it Clipper Fest. So that was that. Now some things I learned. The Mando suit, I wore it for 2 hours over 2 days. Let me pull up a picture of the suit so I can point stuff out as I'm talking about it. This picture works really good. Okay, I love this picture. So, also, apparently I'm gonna be, Joel recorded a short with me. So this is the Mando suit that I wore. Some things I really liked, some things I didn't. One, the belt came loose. I gotta figure out a way to make sure the belt's adjustable. I gotta lock the belt. I gotta like glue it or something. Because my thighs hang off the belt. So there are a few things I need to change on this suit to like make it more ready. First off, this gap here, I gotta like pull this plate up higher into there. I gotta pull these thighs up higher. These thighs ride way too low. I need to pull them up higher. I need to figure out, redo the mounting for the cod piece so it stops falling off. Eat more pizza. No, it actually looks good now that I've eaten less pizza. The shins. I gotta reprint my shins. So the front part is fine. The problem is, I printed the rear part like last week and I scaled them wrong. So I had to scale these shins down to fit. The thing is, I goofed. I didn't know, I don't remember, because I printed them last year. I don't remember what size I scaled them to. So what I did was I just measured how tall they were and then just did the math. It's like, oh, 85% scale. Okay, cool. The problem was I scaled these 85 in the Z only, not the XY. The back pieces that I printed are scaled 85% all around. So they are a little tight, and the way I attached them, I don't have them here, but this is my thigh. Okay, or my shin. I had the one piece on the front goes on, and then I got like the bungee straps, like, you know, the bungee straps that got Velcro on them. They strap on, and then I had Velcro stuck to that, and the back piece just kind of went and stuck on the back. That was not great. After a while of walking around, they would pop off. So what I need to do is basically tie them together on one side with like bungee strapping, like the webbing, and then on the other side have like a clip or something, so they actually like lock onto the legs. These were probably the most pain in the butt part, and then the cod piece falling off a few times. Everything else worked pretty good. It was warm, but that was to be expected, and it wasn't as warm as I thought it would be. Everything worked pretty good. I don't have a jetpack. The cape worked really good. I think the cape like worked out a lot. The suit just looks much better with the cape, I think. Joel told me I have to do a jetpack though. This helmet, this is one of the helmets from the Jeff. So there's actually an actual helmet in here. So I put that on and I look like a bobblehead. So I walked around the show bobbling my head, which nobody got video of, I don't think. But I walked around the show really quick, bobbling my head like a bobblehead Mandalorian wearing this. So yeah, I really like how the suit turned out. So I got to tweak and adjust a few things, but it's always a work in progress, but it is what it is. The short I did. Yeah, so I have like a good 15 minutes of footage that Steve recorded for me of just walking around. So what I might do, there will be a video, probably closer to Halloween, I'll put it out, of just walking around the show. Kind of like how Adam Savage does his incognito thing, only everyone knew who I was because I post pictures of it. So yeah. I think that's about it. Let's install the free sample. Let me go dig out the pip. Where is the pip? Where is the pip? There's the pip. I don't have a bet on you. That'll work. No, this way. Okay. So this thing hasn't been turned on in, I don't know, a while. So we've got this. If you don't know what this is the Bamboo Panda, or the Bichu Panda. Now, is to sell the form. I'm still working on trying to. I keep telling Joe it's a very reasonable thing to sell. So hopefully, front comes off. So let's see how easy this is to swap out. Okay, so disclosure. I'm gonna put some disclosure. This right here is an engineering sample, okay? The production versions of these, I believe, have 60 watt heater. This one's only 40 watt. And this was literally soldered together by somebody at their place, like by hand, because again, engineering sample. So if this blows up, don't blame the company, don't blame the printer, okay? But at least clip it for content. Yeah. So there's two different versions of the tool heads that these machines use. I believe the Panda at the moment will only support the P1P and P1S because it's literally different connectors. They use different connectors between the two. Why? I don't know. Ask Bamboo. They thought it was a good idea. So we have to take this off and this off. So let's unscrew all this. Now, fun fact, again, for those at home who don't remember, these machines, you cannot PID tune them. You cannot PID tune it. You cannot change the thermistor type. It is literally, you can't. The firmware is all locked down on these machines. So if you want to have a aftermarket tool head or hot end, they pretty much have to make it out of the factory to just work, which they did. X1 standard JST, it is. So what you can do is literally just buy this and change the connector. So these pop out, I believe. I think I'm gonna undo this, right? I gotta find a smaller Allen key. I think I'll take the cutter out. You get great views of my arms for this. There we go. I might have filament in it. Oh, I have filament in it, that's why. Oops. I'm like, why is this putting up a fight? It's like, oh. There's filament in there. There we go. Okay, old hot end out. So now we gotta change the fan. Okay, so the fan goes on this side. The cutter can stay in. Can it? Oh, I don't know. It takes 2 seconds to unscrew it. I couldn't remember if it. It's not like I work on these machines that often. Are there any using proprietary anymore? You cannot change anything on this machine hardware-wise or firmware-wise. This is like an Apple. You know how, like, you literally have to use their hardware, their components. The fact that this works is kind of surprising, because normally you shouldn't be, like, again, you can't PID tune this. So pretty much if you want to make a separate hot end for this machine, you pretty much have to make the hot end work out of the box. It's not like you can make a generic hot end that, you know, you can put on a bunch of printers and PID tune. That does not exist for this machine. That is not a thing with bamboo machines, unfortunately. So, like, you can't even change Z offset in the firmware. You have to, like, change your starting G code for Z offset. So what really sucks is I'm gonna have to boot this up and connect it to my Wi-Fi to do a software update, which I really don't want to do, but I kind of have to. Okay, so this one connects to the bottom. So again, engineering sample. Again, engineering sample. I have to cut this stupid tag off. So I think the wires on the production version will be much shorter. Again, engineering sample. Because I gotta, this connects in here to the bottom one. Okay, come on. This is fun. Because I got this stupid little tab that's supposed to hold everything. But it makes it not easy to do this. Are these keyed? Does this go in this way, or it's got to go in this way? Where is the other one? Oh, well, that came off. That solder joint failed. Shit. That ain't good. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this later. Screw it. We'll fix it later. I'll do it on another stream, or I'll fix it off stream because I don't have my soldering stuff down here. I'm gonna have to shorten this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shorten this cable. This is way too long. That doesn't even fit in there. Why aren't you fitting in there? The right way around? Is there... Yeah, I can't get this to even go in. Is it the right size connection? Yeah, it's the right size connector. It just won't connect. Why won't you connect? Oh, okay. Why won't you connect? I don't know why this won't connect. Yeah, I can't get this to plug in. I don't know why. I don't know. Odd. Odd. It just won't plug in. It's like ever so slightly too wide. Yeah, that just plugs right in. So you plug in. So why won't you plug in? Oh, how much you want to bet I've got like an original version of this board and it's a slight difference between the two? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet it's that? Yeah. Yeah, engineering sample. Okay, never mind. What I'm going to have to do is actually swap out these connectors because I've broken off the solder joints on one of them already too. So. Yeah. Oh well. It's not like I use this machine that much anyways. Okay. Oh well. David's here. Hi, David. Everyone say hi, David. Hot and plug won't work in the printer. Yes, our evil plan is working. Yeah. Would you do a Tridex? I might convert once the VZ bot is up and running, I'm going to retire my Trident off the shelf, and we might convert that to a Tridex in the future. So. I had my Cheaty X Plus 3 days, 2 weeks ago. I sent it back. Oh, if you sent it back, if it wasn't working for you, it wasn't working for you. So I think what time is it? We might call it there. Was the connector flip 180? I don't think so. I don't think these connectors are keyed. Yeah, no, it's a length thing. Like it won't fit in the slot. It's like a fraction of a millimeter too wide. What's Calvin? He has an astronaut suit, so I'm gonna wear the Mando suit. He's gonna wear the astronaut suit. Did you have a plan for that? No, I only wore it for an hour. I only wore it for an hour, and let's be honest, I was sweating so much. Yeah, I was sweating like crazy in that suit. Okay, what I might do is just take the connectors off this, take the board off this, and solder it onto here. Have you seen the tap changer mod? I have. It's interesting. It'll be interesting because the problem is I've seen not tons, but I've seen multiple DIY tool changing setups for Warons over the years. None of them have ever made it past like the original demos phase. So if it does turn out to be a fully functional thing that actually works long term, great. I'm just kind of hesitant to dive into it until we know it works. Because again, not the first time. I was on the floor for 2 days. There was a lot of bathrooms around there. There was on the main floor and the upstairs on the side where like the vendor was, or the food was. Also, there was the green room, which that's where I went because yeah, cut inside. Yeah, I might end up cutting off the actual like factory connector because you could see which ones are the wires for the hot end and which ones are the wires for the thermistor. And I might just swap those because I'm assuming these are the same. I'm assuming they would be the same. So we'll do that. And if it breaks, it breaks and it's content. So maybe that'll be next Friday's stream. We'll fiddle with this next Friday in the garage. This thing is dusty. It is dusty. Can't believe they sold it like this. Like, seriously. So we have the X1. Let's just take the panels off of it and sell it with cheaper components. And then, oh, hey, we found the panels. Let's just sell it the P1S. Shout out on day 2 live. Miss everyone excited. Yeah, cheers, Justin. Yeah, Rocky Mountain is going to be great. It is going to be great. It is going to be great. I'm looking forward to Smurf. Those E3D folks know how to party. I booked my hotel. For Rocky Mountain, honestly, there's a hotel that's right across the street from the location. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be, because you can just walk between the two. And they actually have really good breakfast. So that's where I'm going to book at. Because let's be honest, you don't want to drive. You just want to get there and go. Which I'm hoping I could do that. It is pricey, but you get free breakfast, and the breakfast is really good. You don't have to drive around. So last year when I went, I got a rental car. Literally, that rental car, all I did was drive it from the airport to the hotel on the Thursday, and then back on the Monday. So I'm hoping this year I can carpool with somebody from the airport to the venue, and then carpool back to the airport on the Monday. That way I don't have to worry about a rental car, and I can save money that way. So there's a pool. Yeah, there's a pool. There's like a massage thing, which I never did any of that, which I also need to figure out a sponsor for that, because that's coming up pretty soon. Steve's here. Hi, Steve. Which hotel? There's literally a hotel across the parking lot. I can't remember what it is. And then for Murph or Rocky Mountain, or correction, for Smurf, there's a bunch of hotels in the area too, like within walking distance. You'll be driving. You're driving to. Well, you'd have to pick me up at the airport, Mitch. Like, I don't know about you, but volunteering to pick someone up at an airport is a big volunteer. Especially the Denver airport. That place is batshit cray-cray. Now I gotta book my hotel before you guys book it all up. Yep, it still does it. What a design flaw. So you have this stupid little clip that holds your thermistor on and your heater. And if you grab, ew, what a mess. If you just grab the sock and pull, the whole thing falls off. Don't like that. Denver is a busy airport. It is. Denver is crazy busy, and it's full of conspiracy bullshit, which is really cool. And dodge. Well, actually, the smart thing to do would be to take the shuttle to one of the the rental car places, and then get picked up from there, because then you don't actually have to go to the airport. Don't book a hotel. Well, that was Murph, and that was the hotel that was shut down due to breaking fire code. So pick up at Chicago. When I flew to Chicago for Rapid, I didn't go to O'Hare. I went to Midway, which was really nice because it's like right in the city, which is really freaky flying in, because you look out the window and it's just like houses, houses, houses. Those houses are getting closer. Houses, 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 and runway. So. Or if you don't get a lot. Yeah, I think Grand Bend is where everyone flies in for, is it Grand Bend? Grandview? There's like an airport nearby. You don't fly into Chicago if you can. What I need to figure out is this. This right here is the best thing about my setup and the worst. And I'm gonna show you why. Let me pull up a video that I recorded with the GoPro. Because I like my scuffness, okay? Part of the charm of my channel is that it is just me, or at least what I think the charm of my channel is. It's just me, and it's scuffed, running gun, single person setup. The problem with that is, let me pull up a video that I don't mind leaking some stuff. Yeah, we'll do Jason. Okay.
All right, are you ready? You ready?
This is 4K on a GoPro. You're not going to hear anything. They have the audio turned down, but like, this is 4K on a GoPro. Okay, that's 4K on a GoPro. That's Jason looking awesome. This is my phone. Like, and the thing is, I don't want to use my phone. I don't want to use my phone to record because it's a phone, and having to set a phone up in a tripod and whatnot is really annoying. And then you can't see it. You have less control with a phone. Yeah, I know, phone's better. So I like the GoPro because I have my little monopod that it balances on perfectly because it's nice and light. It's got good image stabilization, which, you know, from Mr. Shaky Megumi. Am I spending some time in the UK beyond Smurf? Not really. I'm flying out the Wednesday night local time. I will be landing in Heathrow Thursday morning, which a bunch of other people from the Voron team are arriving around that time. So hopefully we can all carpool to Oxford. So I will be in Oxford Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, my flight out is at noon. So I need to figure out a way to get from Oxford back to Heathrow Monday for a flight at noon local time. And then I'm home here in that afternoon because of the 5-hour time difference. Second phone. What I would really like to get is another camera. The problem is I can't justify buying another camera because it's stupid. Because I need to buy cameras already. I need another camera for the garage. Because in here we're good. I've got the A6300 here, and I've got this. Okay, for the up close shots. So we're good in here for cameras. The garage needs upgrading because the garage we only have the A5100, which is 1080p. I need a 4K camera out there. So here's my conundrum. This GoPro is pretty much only used for traveling. Okay. It sucks in low light, so I can't really use it in these setups anyways because the sensor is small. It sucks in low light. I already have the way the iPhone. The thing is though, the reason phone stuff looks as good as it does is because AI processing. Like my A5100 records better 1080p footage than the newest iPhone. Like, let's be honest, phone cameras have tiny sensors and shit glass. They just use a lot of AI processing to like fake things to make it look good. Also, when it comes to editing, you run into issues really quick because a lot of it is AI fudged. So even like pictures, let me view large icon. Do I have any pictures here? Where is? Let me find a picture that I took. Like an actual picture. Yeah. So here's a picture of Grant, okay? Can I zoom in? Like, it falls apart really quick once you actually zoom in. Yeah, like when you're looking at on a phone screen or once you start actually trying to edit and zoom in, phone footage kind of falls apart pretty quick. I need a good DSLR. Mirrorless. I run mirrorless. I run all Sonys because all my lenses are compatible. Phone video isn't consistent settings that work on AI. And yeah, plus you have an issue with the autofocus can be different. Like lighting, camera money's near Q. Cheers, $5. It's cameras. Your phone can work in a pinch, but it's not something to actually like Chep, for example, records everything on iPhones. He edits on iPads. Like everything on his channel is mobile. It's great. But good cameras don't make us look good. They do to an extent. Because again, the problem with the GoPro is the image sensor is kind of shite. Like this. This is okay. But like right here, this is a still frame pulled off. This is a 4,000 by 3,000 still frame pulled off the GoPro footage. Look how fuzzy this beard is, okay? Look how like just washed out everything is. Like, I don't like this. Like, obviously it works. It works. But like, you're seeing a better image now on a live stream than a direct 4K pull off the GoPro. It's so fluffy, yeah. And hey, we're both wearing plaid. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. So here's my conundrum. I've got an A6400. That's the video that I use for standalone videos. I could use that as the main camera in the garage, and then use the A5100 as like the overhead camera, or the off, like the floating mobile cam. Okay, but then I need a new camera. So here's my conundrum. Either I buy a shittier camera than the A6400 to use as the main camera, they're like an A6300, like what we got right here, or I buy something that replaces the A6400 as the main cam. That is the problem I'm in. So there's really no point in buying anything worse than an A6400, because then I still have the A6400 as the main cam, which has issues. So I would have to buy something like an A6700 or like an FX30, because the FX30 has in-body image stabilization, which shaky old me would love, which I don't have the budget for. So it's like, I'm kind of like, because I bought like middle-of-the-road hardware, middle-of-the-road entry-level stuff since I started, it's like I can't really upgrade anything without actually jumping to actual good gear, which kind of sucks. Because it's like, I ain't got that money. I haven't streamed in a week, and it actually affects my income. Image softening. Yeah, and I wish there was a way to turn this off. So, Ozbot. The problem is those are, okay. There is a massive difference between image sensors, okay? So you have fancy webcams, okay? Those work okay, but at the end of the day, they still have tiny sensors, and they have shitty glass. That's the thing. The fact that I have like a Sigma 16 lens on it, the lens on here is a $500 lens. So the image sensor is going to have a huge impact on image quality, especially in low light. Especially in low light. The OBS, what is the OBS spot? It's the A7. The A7 is a decade-old camera. It's a decade-old camera. And it's only 1080p. Pilt tan zoom. See, this would be okay for like a B. The problem is I need 4K out in the garage. Yeah, there's a ton of these, and they never look this good. Like, this is not how it looks. They all look like I've spent the past like week looking at cameras. So if you're wondering about image sensor sizes, these are like the best webcams. Okay, and then you have APS-C, which is what this camera is, which is here. And then you have full frame. So like these are like the best webcams, and phone camera lenses are like, you know, maybe 2/3 of an inch, and then you go all the way up to like APS-C. So size, more single pixel, which can collect more light and better signal noise. Yeah, the problem is this is actually very noisy. If you watch the footage, if you watch tomorrow's video, it's pretty noisy, and I don't like it. Just bring your IMAX 70. Here's the funny thing: the FX3, Sony's FX3, which is just a full frame camera. It's basically a professional version of the A7. Is IMAX rated. You don't need an IMAX camera to make an IMAX film. James Cameron and Nolan do, because they're crazy cuckoo people. But so yeah, so I'm hoping something goes on sale. I keep checking the used market. I would like to have a better camera for Rocky Mountain next year, specifically Smurf. I want to have good footage of Smurf. I don't want, because Smurf is in Oxford, in like the old university halls there. You know the lighting is not going to be great. This thing is going to struggle bus. This is going to struggle bus at Smurf with the lighting. So that's what I'm worried about. So I'd love an FX30, but that's not in the budget. So maybe the A6700, because that's like the poor man's FX30. Same sensor, but less features. And also it's like $500 cheaper, which is still like $1,800 Canadian. Canadian prices suck. So basically, I'm going to just keep using what I'm using for now and just deal with it. Prime Day soon. Well, Boxing Day for Canadians would be the big one. So But it is what it is. It's just every time I go to these shows and then I walk around and then again, you know, I'm gonna film something and then you see, where is it? Stuff like this. It's like, damn it, Joel. Damn it, Joel. And you want to borrow the E10 for Smurf? The E10 would be, Zevi E10. What lenses do you have for that? Like, honestly, Steve, I would love to borrow it. The problem is I don't have any of the setup for it. So I don't have, the Zevi 1 might actually work pretty good. Because the Zevi 1 has the, it depends on the lens. So that's been something I've been looking at, but the thing is that's a downgrade. Because the A6400 is a better camera, so it takes the same as the A60. Yeah, that's the thing. All those cameras are kind of in the same range. The ZV E10 is an A6400 without some of the professional features. Like the A6400 has more like settings that you can adjust to make like for, you know, different, you know, footage types and whatnot. Like different, like I can record S-Log on the A6400 and a few other things like that. So the A6400 and the ZV E10 are pretty much the same camera. The difference is the ZV E10, I think, has better image stabilization. That's the only difference, is it has better image stabilization. The ZV-1 has a smaller sensor than both, but it has the automatic image, like the AI image stabilization and the built-in lens. So they're both of them are actually worse cameras than the A6400. They just have some features that make them better in certain cases. So they're all kind of within the same ballpark. They all use the A6400 and ZV E10 use the exact same image sensor. So, I'm surprised how lit the Smurf venue is. Okay, hopefully. So I got the A6400 because one, I got it open box on sale, and two, it's always on a tripod, so I don't care about image stabilization. Because here's the other thing with Smurf. I'm flying. People keep telling me to get a gimbal. I don't want to bring a gimbal. I don't have room for a gimbal. I like this because literally, it's like, okay, I'm going to a trade show, time to pack. Let me grab it here. Okay, literally night before trade show. Okay, time to pack. I've got my DJI mic and my GoPro. This is all I need to cover a trade show. And my monopod, which I'm not gonna bring to Smurf because it's too big. So I'm gonna freehand everything at Smurf. But literally, this, you can't make a setup lighter than this. And if I do need to, you know, put it on a table, I can. So this is why I like this setup. I just wish the GoPro camera was better. That's the problem. Sell the A6400 and get a... Well, here's the problem. I'm screwed if I do that for two reasons. One, I want to retire the A6400 to be in the main camera in the garage. Because the garage setup that we use for building printers is an A5100, which is only 1080p. I want, this is 4K, so I can do these fun punch-ins and not lose quality. So I want to turn the A6400 into the garage main camera. So I need something better than the A6400 to become the new travel camera. Also selling it, the market is shit in Canada for it. I'd be lucky to get $600, $700, $800 if I'm lucky. Two, all my lenses are APS-C lenses. So getting full frame means I have to buy all new lenses too. And batteries. So yeah. I know GoPro's made. Yeah, I know what GoPro's made for. That's why I got it, because of the image stabilization. So I can freehand it and actually get good footage because I shake. And it's compact, but yeah. If I need a local guy, let me know. Cheers. I made, if you're up for shuttling. Be honest, good con. Oh, I know. This is totally me self-critiquing. This is totally me self-critiquing the videos. It's just, you know, when you get something where it's like, you know, you want it to look a certain way, and it's just a hazy mess, and you're like, the audio's good, but like, it's like, So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, right now I'm looking like, if you're following the Twitch channel, like the Twitch channel is the original camera that or the original mic that I bought. The first piece of equipment that I bought for streaming was that Marantz pod mic kit, where we turn the gain up to 20 so you could hear the whole room, so I could walk around and talk and build printers. And you go watch those early streams. The audio is shit. So I had the Marantz pod mic. Now I'm actually using it in the way it's supposed to be used, and it sounds great. I've got a USB light that I paid $5 for on Amazon. I've got a AverMedia PW313 webcam, which I bought on clearance at Costco for 20 bucks. And it's good. It's fine. I'm streaming games on Twitch. It's good enough. Is the A6700 premium E-mount no good? An A6700 body would be great. The lens, I already have a lens. I've got a Sigma 18-50 lens that I really like. That's what I would put on the upgrade camera. And then the A6400 that has that lens right now would just get a Sigma 16 like this one has for the streaming setup at the garage. The Sigma 16 is great, although I may need a wider frame because how close it is. Because in the garage, I'm about actually, where my hand is right now is about how far away from the camera I am in the garage. I can always move the workbench though, so that's not a deal. Sounds like FOMO because of that. Oh, I've been annoyed with this setup image quality wise since I started using it. A6700 is the FX30 sensor without a bunch of the features, basically. It's a more consumer version of it. I'd love an FX30, but so hey Sony, if you want to sponsor something. I'll be honest, I fired up the streaming Twitch channel just so I can try and get that gamer sub sponsorship. Brought your GoPro Hero 8. You should have just had it mounted on the, what you need is one of those Insta 360s, the 360 camera, and put it on the printer while you walk around and just record people's reaction to the printer. That's what you need to do, Mitch. But yeah, so I'll probably stick with this. Like, the battery lasts all day. I've never run out of battery recording. The DJI audio is great. All you do is you put it through DaVinci and you do the AI voice isolation and you set it to like 20 or 25%, and it just kills all the background noise down to a level where you don't really hear it anymore, and you're good to go. So these I really like. This, I really like everything except the image. So. Insta360. They sponsor a lot of people. It's always hilarious when you can tell when Insta360 sponsors, because like you'll get a ton of YouTubers will do some random thing and it's like, hey, we're using the Insta360. I'm like, oh, here we go. Every YouTube video I watch for the next week's gonna have an Insta360 sponsorship in it. I need to get off my butt and start getting sponsors. That's, you know, it is fun, the fact that, you know, I'm allowed to say and do what I want on this channel because I don't have sponsors, but I need to start pouring myself out to some sponsors for these shows and these streams. So if you want to sponsor the stream and you want your logo to pop up every like 30 seconds or a minute or something, reach out to me. But the money's, yeah, that's the thing. I do have a mortgage. And then new equipment costs money. So, and considering the last like 3 builds we've done on this channel, I barely broke even. Yeah, the Polymaker might have broke even on the build series if we're lucky. The Prusa, I probably lost money on the Prusa. So, you can still be yourself. Oh, I am. Oh, believe me, nothing would change if I had sponsors. Now that TNL is losing sponsors. Well, I don't leak stuff a week early, or the day early, so I feel like the DJI. The problem is I don't like the DJI cameras because you have to use the app to control them. At least as the newer versions, and I don't like that. I like being able to just turn it on and it work, and not have to sync it with an app or anything. Plus, the same with the DJI. Joel was using one at I think it was Rocky Mountain. The image quality is the same. They still have the same issue with a small sensor. It's still a small sensor. Like, Sony came out with the ZV-2 or ZV-1 2 or whatever it is, and I was like, because it's not that, it wasn't worth it. Basically, I just want a camera with a good sensor, decent short-range glass, good image stabilization, and the ability to plug a mic into it. That's all I want. All I want. 3D print. Yeah, he got fucked. Here's the thing, like, poor guy. It really sucks because YouTube's screwing him, but YouTube don't care. YouTube don't give a shit in the slightest. He is a blip on their radar. The only channels YouTube cares about are the giant, massive channels that actually bring in actual, you know, revenue to YouTube. A channel that's barely monetizable as is because of the content it does, when they get into a scuff and YouTube axes the channel, YouTube just doesn't care. And the thing is, they are a private company. They're allowed to do what they want. They could ban me off this platform tomorrow, and you know, I can complain all I want, but they're part of the EULA. When you sign up, is they pretty much say, yeah, we can just delete your account at any point. We control it fully. It sucks. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but he's got very limited recourse, so. It's a lot of, I'm okay. Like even the way LTT does sponsorships, where it's just like they do a segue and there it is. Like, that's how I firmly believe sponsored reads should be. You should have, you know, something like the Piopoly video. I just have a little pop-up at the beginning and the end of the video. ERRF 2023 coverage sponsored by Piopoly. 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 I just have a little bumper that pops up on the bottom of the screen at the beginning and end of the video. Because the whole video is about the Magneto X, so I didn't have a voiceover, but future videos, my ERRF coverage will just have like a little panning shot of the event or something, and me just going, ERRF 2023 coverage is sponsored by Piopoly. Check them and their new Magneto X printer out at the link below. I'll have that at the beginning and end of every video. Or I'll have like a little intro part, then cut away to that, then go back to the thing. Like, and it'll be timestamped. Like, did I get them? We're talking about it. The thing is, they don't actually have version printers to send out yet. What Hero? It's a Hero 10. So it's a Hero 10. Maybe the 12 is better, but I can't justify spending that. We talked about RP5s. Yeah, Raspberry Pi 5. It's better than the 4. No, you don't need it to run Clipper. I still have Pi 3s in a bunch of my machines. I have Pi 02s in a bunch of my machines. You don't need the Pi 5 for Clipper. Now, if you want to do more, go for it. But yeah, it's one more betterer than the 4, and 2 more betterer than the 3. Is there any footage? There is on their little demo video. They had some test prints there. It prints like a printer. It moves. It has a hot end. It pushes plastic. It's got fans. It's gonna print like every other printer. It just prints fast. It just can move fast. Remember, pretty much every printer that is built well prints good, okay? Judging a printer on print quality is stupid, because I could change one slicer setting or change the filament from one brand to another and everything changes. If you take the time to tune a printer right with the right profile and the right filament, it will print good. Okay, now some can print that faster than others, or some have, you know, you can print different materials than others. But at the end of the day, all modern printers print just good. And comparing them on print quality is almost impossible because, again, you're judging hardware based on slicer settings, which are user adjustable, and also filament, which is completely out to lunch depending on manufacturer. There are so many variables when it comes to the actual, you know, how good this damn plastic boat looks, that, you know, taking a look at a pre-production engineering sample printer with a non-finalized slicer with filament that from a vendor they've never used before. Guess what? It'll make the plastic boat. It'll make the plastic boat. But yeah, they had a demo print there. I looked at it. It looks fine. And again, pre-production demo unit with a not finalized slicer profile. It's fine. It did take a knock during shipping. They didn't have a fancy, like, it's a pre-production unit, so they don't have like finalized packaging. So they pretty much had to bubble wrap the hell out of it and zip tie it all together to ship. And it took a knock, and something was broken in the tool head, so unfortunately you couldn't print. Also, I did hit the camera when I threw that benchy. I don't know where that benchy went. The computer on the printer. Yeah, it's got an octopus in it, and they're using an orange Pi right now because that's what they have easy access to. You could swap in a Pi 5 if you want. It's running normal Clipper. All you'd have to do is reflash. You wouldn't even have to reflash it. Just install the Clipper on the Raspberry Pi and just copy the config over, and it'll run. So, can you enclose it? You can. The machine isn't designed to be enclosed. The magnets that they are using have a curie point in the 80 or 90 C range. So as long as your chamber doesn't get above 80 C, the magnets won't be affected at all, pretty much. So, RJ gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. And I think somebody became a member. Did I miss that? Rich, thank you for becoming a member. So yeah, and then the magnets I talk about in the video tomorrow. They'll have the production unit will actually have like a coating on the magnet, like an epoxy on the magnets, so they'll be protected from like grit and scratches and whatnot. Have a preferred slicer? Orca slicer. They're developing a Orca slicer profile for the printer. They will not have a bullshit skin version of a slicer. They're just using normal Orca slicer with a profile that you can it'll just be part of it. Like, you won't have to download their stupid custom version of Cura like Creality does. I hate vendors that do that. Like, honestly, guys, what are you kidding? We got our, you know, blah 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 slicer. No, it's not blah 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 slicer. You took Prusa slicer and put a skin on it, or Cura and put a skin on it. You do that so you could sell it as having your own slicer, so it's good to the marketing folks and your shareholders. Just put out a bloody Prusa slicer profile for your printer, or a Cura slicer profile for your printer, and let anyone download it and use the normal, modern, up-to-date version of the slicer instead of having to wait for your shitty revision of it that's going to fall out of date with updates very quickly. Ugh, that annoys me so much. That annoys me so much. Did they patent the linear motors? No, linear motors are not. Linear motors are a thing. They've been around for decades. Now they have their own design of the linear motor. They are custom motors, because the thing is, traditionally linear motors are either too expensive to put in commercial 3D printers at a consumer level, or they're too big. So yeah, they're using CNC all the time. So they are an existing thing. Okay. Now, I will say, the only thing on that machine that's really custom, they do have custom drivers for the linear motors. However, on Clipper's side, they don't see that. So Clipper controls them as if they're just standard steppers with like the direction pin, the signal pin, whatever. Like that. As far as Clipper's concerned, these are just drivers. But the actual drivers for the linear motors are custom, and they are keeping that in-house, which I don't blame them. Now, it's not violating any open source stuff, though, with Clipper, because Clipper just connects to them like they would a normal stepper. So Clipper just sees a stepper. Closed loop? Yes, kinda, sorta. They're running their own firmware on the drivers for the linear motors. So they are closed loop where they can detect a crash. However, Clipper itself, I believe currently, does not know how to handle closed loop. So it can detect a crash, and it can safely stop itself if it crashes, at least at this time. Yeah, there's an encoder on the rail. Yeah, they have an encoder on it too. So the demo they were showing was, if you printer's printing, if you just do the whole push it, which you don't normally do, but if you were to like smack the tool head while it's printing, or you put something in the way, it just shuts the motor off right now. So IDEX looks easy, however only possible on a smaller 300 axis. Yeah, the machine is that format because of the way it's designed, but IDEX would be easily done on this machine because you don't need to put belts or anything. All you need to do is literally take a separate tool head with its own motor and just put it on the rail, and it just goes. So you don't need to like rebelt anything. You didn't need to worry about adding pulleys or motors. You literally just take another tool head and just slap it on the rail and call it a day. So I think we're gonna call it there. By the way, we're doing a giveaway for some Polymaker filament. We'll end the stream at 1:15, so that way I have time for lunch. So at 1:15, we're gonna end the stream. So if you haven't yet, enter for your chance to win some Polymaker filament. Link in the video description. So enter there. I guess it's cost and the fact that you have to make custom motors. There's no off the shelf. Like you can just, you know, I've got a freaking drawer full of them here, right? Anyone can go to the store and buy an EMA 17, right? And some pulleys and belts and make a 3D printer. I mean, what you do is you go down to your AliExpress vendor, you buy a bunch of motors, you buy some pulleys, you buy a chunk of metal that's hot, you slap that in a Core XY enclosure or frame, and you call it the best printer ever and you sell it, right? That's what everyone's doing right now. Linear motors actually require you doing work. You can't just, you know, push out something in 6 months with, you know, a brand new design like that. So, you know, Peopoly's been working on it for a bit, and they've had to actually put, you know, work into their machine. So, an SD card stuck. Can I steal it? Oh, that's a shitty SD card. No Prusa XL. Eventually, hopefully. You know, I would love to get a 5 tool head XL. And here's the thing. Even this machine has its little niche. It's not multi-cut. Now, granted, it's running normal clipper, so you can put a Rage Rabbit carrot feeder on it or a chameleon on it, no problem, if you want multicolor. But it's still a single nozzle setup, so the Prusa XL will still have the ability. It's a large format 5 tool head printer. It has its niche. It has its use case. Like, remember, not all printers are for everyone, and not all printers have to do the exact same thing, so. XL still on the first day, orders 23 months late. They're not 23 months late. They're 23 months from the original order date, but they never said they were going to come out the original order date. They said they were going to come out later. And they're stuck because, from what I've heard, is it has to do with the tool head board, is supply of the tool head board, which, considering the you need 5 tool head boards for one single 5-headed unit, or you ship out 5 single-headed units. Like that's what's holding them back, I think, from what I've heard in the rumor mill. And it's out of their hands. It's something they don't produce. It's, you know, microchips. Like they what do you want them to do? It's very niche. Okay. I don't know. They sell a bajillion Mark IVs and Mark IIIs still, so it is a niche printer. Who was it? Somebody on Twitter had no idea what the hell they were talking about and claimed that the Prusa Mini was their best-selling printer. It's their worst. Somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh yeah, the Mini's their best-selling printer," trying to compare it to the A1, and it's their worst-selling printer. How am I liking the VZBot? I don't know. It hasn't printed yet. Strangely, they had the XL printing at the show. It prints just fine. The XL they had, I don't have any footage of it, but they were printing demos on the XL at the show. It prints just fine. So, all right, what are you comparing? Are you comparing about your printer or parts or prints on a printer that somebody posted on a social media site specifically to show how bad the printer prints? When's the next VZBot stream? Tuesday. VZBot Tuesdays, Tallboy Saturdays. Because remember, there's a thing called bias with social media. The vast majority of people that, when they have a good experience, don't share it. Unless they're part of some weird cult community that like hyping themselves up. Like, when you have a printer that just works, you might show the odd picture, but it's fine. But if you have that, you know, somebody who has a bad experience is 10 times more likely to post about it than somebody who doesn't. So if you're just going off of some random Facebook group, some random person who all they do is post stuff about how shit the printer is, are they the majority? The answer is no. Who knows? Maybe they're using shit filament, or they're using the wrong slicer profile. You don't know. When I go to a show and I see the machine printing and it's printing just fine, and other people that I personally know that have the machine and the machine prints just fine, yeah, I when I see some random person who posts like, oh, the printer's shit, here's a shit print. Okay, cool. That means there's 10 people that didn't have shit printers and they don't print shit, they just don't share it. It's like a tracer round, right? You watch a movie, you see tracer rounds. Every time you see a tracer, there's 5 bullets behind it, or 3, depending on the linkages, that you don't see. So, the hot end not working. Yeah, they gave me an engineering sample, and they're kind of like, we don't have any of the production ones left. Here's an engineering, and I got to fix some of the soldering on it. It's an engineering sample, full disclosure. It's kind of like, you know, this is not the final one, so I gotta resolder some stuff on it. I've seen some photos of bad prints when taken, sometimes shows the photos. To be fair, the Prusa XL that they had at trade shows for the longest time was the oldest Prusa XL they had that they shipped everywhere. We're talking dozens of places a year. So dozens of times a year, that printer was shoved in a box and shipped somewhere. You know, I trust my printers to hold 0 when I move, you know, from one room to another. A very early pre-production unit that got shipped across the ocean a dozen so times, yeah, I don't doubt that it may have some issues. So yeah, let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. Wheel of names. So how many people have entered? 365. That's how many days there are in a year. 38. There we go. I was looking at a different positioning. Yeah, that's probably the pre-production unit you're talking about. That thing is like horribly out of date, and they don't like the machine that they have on the shows now is the actual production unit, and it is much improved. Like if you saw it at MRF, I want to say last year, that was the pre-production unit, and they had to manually zero out each tool head for locating. Like they had to like manually like home each tool head to get it to work properly, because it was a pre-production unit that had been at dozens of trade shows. It was beat to shit. So now they have a production unit. Yeah, it was printing fine all weekend. Tons of bamboo lovers. I mean, I talked to Grant. Like, he doesn't rant because they don't conform to ITAR. He just brings up, like, here's the thing. It's confirmation bias, okay? So people, he does Print Fix Friday, where he talks about, like, if you watch a Print Fix Friday, one of them might be complaining about a bamboo. The other one's complaining about a Prusa. The other one, like, if people keep giving it, like, he just, like, looks at print fails and how do you fix it? And guess what? Bamboos fail like every other printer. They're not a turnkey solution, so of course they're gonna show up. And then, yeah, if I bought a $1,000 machine to use for my business and it didn't work, I complain too. Oh. What, you want to say hi? Hello, doggo. Hey, get over here. Oh, you got those. You were in that bush again. Got these seed things that get stuck in his fur. What are you doing under there? What are you doing under there? Okay. Goodbye. Okay. So yeah, if I bought a $1,000 machine to use for my business and it didn't work, and I've seen the fails that he had with time critical things, because hey, the machine's fast. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter how fast it is. If it doesn't finish what it needs to do, then it's pointless. So yeah, I kind of don't blame him. I mean, I've been having issues with my X1. I got that stupid cable that they have for the bed. I keep getting the bed sensor fails. So. Okay. Somebody give me a number between 1 and 7 because it's been like 7 days since I've done a regular stream. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we don't have a random color. Or maybe we do. Maybe we do. What's this? What's it? Right there. There's the random on one. Okay, but it's gonna be over here. It's gonna be. Who is this? Monohead. Monohead. Okay. Congratulations, Monohead. You have won yourself a spool of Polymaker filament. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. So, golf claps in chat. So, golf claps in chat. Okay. So we're gonna call it there. Again, there will be a stream on the Twitch channel tonight. It's just gonna be a short one, just so I meet the deadline because I need to have 7 streams before I can monetize it. There will be a Twitch stream tomorrow. There will be a full-on Boron build, 2 streams tomorrow. Wow. We're going back to the Tallboy tomorrow on the afternoon stream. Video out tomorrow on the Piop. Wow, you guys are getting 3 pieces of content from me tomorrow. You're getting a video, you're getting a Twitch stream, and you're getting a printer stream. I'm productive. So yeah, so if you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, or you lucked out and got gifted one during the stream today, check out the video. It's up early, posted in the Discord and also the community pages. And then it will be public for everyone else tomorrow. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Link for them and more in the video description. Their affiliate links don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. And also, for those that donate to the channel, became members of the channel, or gifted memberships to others, I thank you. Not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. So cheers. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah, so we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna go make some lunch, and then I gotta go pick up the little guy from school, and then I gotta print some stuff. So hope you enjoy. If you went to ERRF, if I saw you at ERRF and I said hi. If not, the next time we'll be doing meet and greet stuff would be Smurf. So it's Friday. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.